Hey Geek family, we're back. This time we're going to check out part 3 of the BBC The Forgotten Volunteers, Indian Army during World War II. And I'm Nathan.
Trinity.
Troy. Dalton.
Yeah, Rachel's still studying, and yeah, I'm very interested to check out this third part. So after this one, we got 2 more coming for this one to knock this one out. But you know, real quick before we check this video out, I just want to say thank you guys again for all your support on the channel. And if you can you hit that like and the subscribe button, followed by that notification bell.
Bing!
Alright, you know what? It's a little bit longer video, just under 10 minutes, so I'll shut up and let's just jump straight in.
Fair enough.
They were separated from their British officers.
When British officers were separated from their soldiers, there was no guidance, no leadership, no senior officers. So we were left to our own fate.
The Japanese had been secretly in touch with militant Indian nationalists long before the Malay campaign. From amongst the Indian prisoners of war, they persuaded a Captain Mohan Singh to help them form another Indian army, this time to fight against the British. But to join the Indian National Army, or INA, he and other Indians had to break their oaths to the Crown.
When you joined the INA in 1942,
Yes.
weren't you breaking an oath of allegiance that you've taken to the Indian Army?
That, madam, I do not agree it. What is oath of allegiance? Oath of allegiance was a forced one. It was not voluntary. It was forced one. Forced on what account? Economically, India was so poor at that time that to maintain our family, we had to join army. Yes, sir. What was the pay? What was the ration? What were the facilities? Nothing.
Initially, around 20,000 prisoners of war joined the INA. Its aim was to liberate India from British rule. Those who volunteered willingly to fight earned the contempt of many in the British Indian Army for doing so.
जो आदमी अपनी कसम पर कायम नहीं है ना, वो किसी भी टाइम धोखा दे सकता है. वो तो इसका मतलब वो मजहब भी छोड़ गए, है ना. तो फिर जब मजहब छोड़ दिया तो सब कुछ छोड़ दिया, फिर क्या रह गया.
The Japanese also found willing collaborators amongst the civilian population. Many Malay Indians also joined the INA. Even a women's regiment was formed. But to the chagrin of Mohan Singh, it remained an army under Japanese control.
You must remember that when we first formed the INA in 1942, Captain Mohan Singh, who became the commander-in-chief, fell out with the Japanese when they refused to acknowledge that the INA were equal partners and deserved equal treatment, and they were not going to take any kind of second-hand Allied treatment.
Fearing it was nothing but a puppet army, Singh tried to disband the INA. The Japanese arrested him and looked to another Indian leader. Chandra Bose, or Netaji as he was known, had escaped imprisonment by the British and fled to Berlin. There he raised a legion from Indian prisoners in German hands. But when he broached the prospect of liberating India, Hitler stalled. The Führer had always admired British rule in India.
Like Churchill, Hitler had also very poor opinion of Indian army. Hitler had also not. Both were of the chiefs of the same block.
Bose travelled to Tokyo and Singapore.
அவரோட கூட இருந்தனால அவர் வந்து எப்படி எங்களை வந்து நல்லா பயன்படுத்தினாருங்கிறதுனா நல்ல விதமான வகையில் அன்பா ஒரு தாய் பிள்ளைகளிடத்துல எவ்வளவு அன்பா பழகினாரோ தப்பம்னா அதே மாதிரி அதோட மேன்மையாக எங்களெல்லாம் ஆதரிச்சார். அதனால அவங்க மேலே எங்களுக்கு பூரண விசுவாசம். எத்தனை ஜென்மம் எடுத்தாலும் அதே தான் நாங்கள் வந்து அவரை தான் நாங்கள் மதிப்போம்.
When Netaji took over the leadership of INA, we really became patriot soldiers. Because the personality of Netaji was very grand. What was on his heart was on his tongue. He organized INA and he made us revolutionary soldiers. It was Netaji's personality who made steel out of clay.
तो उन्होंने कहा कि एक हिंदू लीडर आ रहा है, जापानियों ने पकड़ कर लाए हैं, तकरीर करेगा. हम मेरे कान में जब मैं 2-3 दोस्त मेरे बैठे, हमारे कान में ये आवाज़ डाली गई. तो अगर ये कोई बात करे तो कानों में उंगलियां डालने, सुनना नहीं. तकरीर मैंने खूब सुनी, मैंने कान से वो निकाल दिया उंगली, मैंने सुनना शुरू किया. तुम्हें गोल्डन चांस है कि मुल्क की आज़ादी हर कौम अपने मुल्क के लिए लड़ती है और तुम अपने हथियार उठाओ, मादरे वतन के लिए लड़ो. उसने कहा कि ब्लड ब्लड ब्लड, तुम खून दो, हिंदुस्तान को तुम्हारे खून की ज़रूरत है. ये बड़े जोश से उसने कहा. और कुछ लोग मेरे साथ बैठे हुए थे, वो फड़फड़ा के उठ के उन्होंने जय वो का नारा वारा मारा, जाकर वॉलंटियर हो गए. पंजीता भी तो उसी वक्त हो गए.
आप ब्रिटिश के साथ क्यों लॉयल रहा?
मैं ब्रिटिश के, चूँकि मैं ज़ख्मी हुआ था, पहली बात मेरे दिल में और मेरे जहन में वो चीज़ आती थी, वो जो रात मेरे को लगी थी ना, तो मैं ये चाहता था कि जापानियों ने मेरे जहन में जब अपना भाई को मारे तो दुश्मन हो जाता है. वो तो बड़ी वर्ड की बात थी ना कि जापानी जालिम मेरे साथ जुल्म हुआ था. दूसरा इसके लिए कि मैं मैदान जंग में दोबारा INA में भर्ती होकर कुत्ते की मौत नहीं मरना चाहता था बर्मा के रोड पर.
In Delhi, the surge of Indian nationalism caused alarm. Churchill made an offer of post-war independence for India in return for continued support in the war. General Auchinleck was appointed Commander-in-Chief in India, and he stepped up Indianization of the officer corps in the army.
Well, there was discrimination in the sense that there's very little chance of them going up through the ranks and becoming an officer. Some did, but very few. The Indian officers, when I joined, or when I came into it, were very much a rarity.
My regiment, they had purely British officers. There were no Indians in that before the war. It's only during the war that the Indian officers started going into the in the regiment.
Of course, that was extended a lot during the war until the Indian officer in an Indian unit was becoming quite common, and at times became the unit commander.
Indian troops were re-equipped and retrained for a new kind of war.
One of the features, of course, of the Jap was that he was very highly trained in jungle warfare. He made the most of cover of a tree trunk, for instance, all of which had to be taught to us and inculcated into us to use the jungle for cover. It was very, very vastly different. In fact, it was contrasted with what you did in the desert.
In this place, you could get into the bush and you were camouflaged. Infiltration was very easy. You could be sitting about 10 yards away and you could get behind the enemy.
It's so the jungle's so
You were
dense,
training
man.
movements, how to move around carefully
I would hate to have fought in the jungle.
how to fight ambush. It took us about 3 months to reconvert ourselves.
In early 1944, 100,000 Japanese and 10,000 INA troops began moving up to the front line in Burma to attack India.
Dang, I had no idea about
The
that.
beginning, they hoped, of a victorious march to Delhi.
Is that it?
Dang it.
At the very end. Well, it's still like 15
Always
seconds.
cuts off at the worst time.
Oh, I know. I was really getting into it. I'm like, what? Because that was a very interesting video because I had no idea about the Indian National Army,
Hey, I didn't
which
either.
basically fighting, going side by side with the Japanese into India. So I had no idea about that. So I was really getting sucked into that video too. Just like last one, I'm like, and then it stops. And the next one, I'm like, oh man, come on. But once again, very informative video. Like I said, I didn't know that information about the Indian National Army. Very interesting to see. And then you see the way Churchill's like, oh shoot, we can't lose. Like that. I guess he was worried that more Indians would join the INA and against turning the British and everything. So he's like, no, hey, how about after the war you get your independence? Hey, here's some new gear and stuff like that to kind of coax them back into it.
Yeah.
But still, and like I was saying, the jungle warfare, that because it's so.
I don't know why it's doing that. It's on vibrate.
But like
Never mind. I know why.
what is it?
That's because it's my mom.
Oh, I see how it is. No, yeah, I think that's happened before too. But the fact you can't the jungle's so thick and so dense that there could be an enemy, like he was saying, like what do you say, like 10 feet,
yards.
10 yards,
Oh, in the
and
jungle.
you just can't see him, and that would to me would have been one of the creepiest, frightening. Theater of the war to fight in, just because of all that. But overall, I like that video. Once again, I've liked all 3 we've seen. I cannot wait to watch the last 4. That's me. You guys?
I thought it was interesting too, about the INA.
INA, yeah.
Yeah, because he said people would ask him why, or the cameraman asked him why he didn't go, and he said
It
because
was a girl.
Yeah, well, probably one of the
Okay.
producers. He's one of the producers.
Instead of talking about how his brother turned on him and everything, so now they were actually the enemy. So that's why also he was injured and stuff.
Right.
So that's.
And then he said he didn't want to die a dog's death on the Burma Road.
I don't know what that means.
It's just a
like a terrible death, probably.
Yeah, just being
Or not an honorary death, maybe.
Well, it's just because on the Burma Road you're just getting trudged through. You're getting forced to do all this stuff. You're all this. Long marches and everything, and just basically not. I would assume too that even though the Japanese made it seem like they were really nice, they were just trying to sucker them into fighting for them, and some of them did, and I didn't know. I'm curious to see in the next episode or 2 how all that went. What did they eventually come back and go against the Japanese? I don't know. I'm curious to find out.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. Like you guys, I had no idea about the INA. Like you, I would not want to fight in the jungle just because, it was so dense. There, you guys could have been walking right into an ambush and have no idea because you wouldn't be able to see anybody. Especially if they had ghillie suits, if they had those back then, or
Yeah, I don't think they had so much, but they would put leaves and stuff,
there,
branches
yeah.
and stuff on there.
It's kind of like Churchill did, well, we do need them to help fight for us, so we can't really let them start leaving our army, so
Yeah.
I'm going to just start giving you guys all this stuff, which I should have given you in the beginning,
Oh, absolutely.
but, I'm Churchill.
Yeah, like we said the other two videos. Some stuff about Churchill didn't really know about, especially coming from his own letters and writings and all that too. It's pretty shocking. So, Mr. Jordan.
Overall, I enjoyed it a lot, as always. Looking forward to part 4.
Yes.
Which we're going to watch, because you guys, we're going to watch it anyways. Yeah. But overall, it was very interesting, very informative. Curious about the whole jungle warfare. I'm not saying that I would hate it. But I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool being able, to make your own traps or hide out in the woods.
No, not me.
Yeah, but then you have no idea if someone's watching.
You got the Pacific Theater in World War II. You got Vietnam War. No way,
It's all in
man.
your eyes and your ears.
Just a
They do
wet,
back in
hot.
Vietnam, they had these bamboo traps that
Muggy.
would go in your arm.
Yeah,
and
no.
the blood would just pour out.
No.
Yeah, they got foot traps that go like this, and when you step on it, it's just,
Yeah.
and then you can't pull it out.
It's like barbed.
But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, and let us know in the comment section or on Twitter or Instagram what you guys thought, and any information you guys have. I want to look it up some more too, because I thought I knew a pretty good amount about World War II, but this is one area I didn't really know a whole lot about India's part in the war, and then like I said, even more so with the Indian National Army and everything that's involved in that. So I'm very curious and looking forward to learning more about that. But let us know in the comment section what you guys thought. And yeah, once again, thank you guys so much for all your love and support on the channel. You guys are awesome. Love y'all.